my goodness. And there it is. Wow. Can they go?
Hello, everybody. Hopefully you can hear us right here. I'm Aaron Smith along with Mike Flanagan, and we are coming to you live from the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada for the 2021 USBC Queens. This is the first day of qualifying. A squad has already hit the lanes. B squad is just wrapping up their practice session, and we are going to get to the competition in just a moment. Some great players on the squad coming up, and we had some great performances a little bit earlier today in A squad as well, Mike.
Yeah, we've got 10 players averaging over 220 out of the 55 that took to the lanes this morning. Currently right now, to make it in the top 32 based off of the squad earlier today, our number is +5. And there's a tie for that for 31st, actually. So it does take a plus score to get yourself inside the number. It's so early, though, just one squad. A squad, 55 players earlier today. B squad, 55 more coming up for you here for 5 games right here on Bowl TV.
All right, and as we get ready to take a look at B squad here, we're going to go out to the lane. So with that, we're going to take a look at where are we at. We're not too far away from where we're at. 53 and 54, Jordan Richard, Heather D'Erico, Amanda Vermilia, and Alyssa Ferraro, all going to be on our featured pairs to kick things off. But we'll hop around, and of course, here on BowlTV.com, if you're joining for the first time, we have 8 channels to choose from across the house here at the NBS live scoring as well. So we'll get to all that, but we're going to settle in. JT already working on all the cameras, getting everything ready to go, scoreboards, and the game of graphics. So yeah, we are on top of it, folks. Don't worry. But we will be going full screen here. We'll bring JT in a little bit later. I think we got the audio issue worked out with that as well. So let's enjoy some bowling here. B squad hitting the lanes.
I'm going to type with my pen.
Typing with pens all over the place.
Yeah, so Shannon Sellens this morning set the bar here. She bowled games at 257, 221, 246, 208, 216 for a grand total of 1148, which is 148 over. She's averaging just shy of 230. Currently right now in second, Gigi Mason, who dazzled us with a 297 game, plus 139. Kelly Kulik, who had a nice, consistent block, 222, 216, 220, 239, 239 to finish it out. She's plus 136. Fania Kobo, 219, 211, 244, 258, 203. She's in fourth at plus 135. Kayla Pashina bowled 127 over. Shannon O'Keefe, 119 over. Burgett in seventh at plus 116. Alicia Current plus 110 in eighth. Christine Gill, who was actually paired up with Shannon O'Keefe. They played right on top of each other's lines. Finished with huge games, 237, 267 to finish out in ninth at plus 104. And rounding out your top 10, Julia Bond plus 102. Julia already a winner here on the tour this season. Nice to see Rocio Restrepo in 11th bowling well. She's been struggling a bit this year. Verity Crawley, talked to her at the end of the squad. She sits 13th. Told me that she really bailed out her squad and felt really good finishing up with games at 245, 222, and 247. Also talked to Carolyn Doran-Ballard, who's in 14th. She said that she was struggling a little bit out, but that's where she needed to play to start. She started with 182 and followed up with games at 223, 227, 206, 243. Just to name some of the highlights that we saw here this morning on Bowl TV. And now we've got a whole new group of bowlers coming in. A lot of talent out there.
Mike, the thing I'm intrigued to see at this block and looking at the standings from A squad is that we didn't necessarily have a lot of left-handed competitors in the field for A squad. So the Shannon Fluhowskis, the Angie Ramirez-Perez, they are going to be out on the lanes here. So we're going to see how that plays. You know, during the practice session, Nick Hoagland mentioned really like the look that Angie had on the lanes. I don't think we got to see Shannon compete. It looks like Angie is actually on one of our featured pairs right now over on 57 and 58 to start things off. So we'll be intrigued to see how the lefties kind of work into the mix here as well.
Absolutely, and just to pop it up here, I'm going to put the lane pattern up real quick, cover up the scores. It is a symmetrical lane pattern, so it's not asymmetric to where it's different for the left or different for the right. 42 feet in length. We talked about it earlier today, but if you're just joining us for this B squad, this is your lane pattern. 2.1 to ratio, 2 to 1 ratio. There is no points this week. And we're looking at 25 milliliters of oil, all fire oil. Take a screenshot of that if you want to pay attention to it here. Otherwise, you can head over to PWBA.com, click on the Queens event, and you can go ahead and look at it there. Also, conveniently here on Bull TV, right above the chat, we've got 3 tabs. You hit the one with the check mark up there. You can also get to the lane pattern right there as well, along with lane pairings, live scoring as well. We have this week. So a lot of good information over there, and of course the standings from A squad today. I expect Jordan Richard to lead this squad. I know it's a high expectation I just put out there, but judging off of what I saw in practice, I believe Jordan Richard is perfectly matched up on this lane pattern. So it'll be a joy to watch her the first game and see if I look smart or see if I look like an idiot.
Sorry, started off with a strike. See if she's making an early double here. Jordan actually made her PWBA, or her official, I should say, PWBA Tour debut right here at the National Bowling Stadium in 2018 at the Queens, fresh off an amazing collegiate career at Arkansas State. And then just a couple of weeks after that, won her first title at the Greater Harrisburg Open in Pennsylvania.
You're absolutely right. I remember being here. I remember talking to her about, I had seen her bowl the Southland Bowling League. I had streamed that one. And she was so fundamentally sound there. And I watched her in practice here. And she wasn't keeping her trail leg down. And she was actually popping out of the shot with the ball about halfway down the lane. I went up and she was on Hammer staff at the time. And I was working for Ebonite International at the time. And, hey, Jordan, I just watched you bowl 2 weeks ago. How come you're not keeping the trail leg down and the little rush? She's like, it is my first event. So I appreciate you saying that. She ended up bowling pretty well. But it's just little things you pick up when you live stream and watch so much bowling.
So mentioned crossing with Amanda Vermilia, Alyssa Ferraro, and Heather D'Erico. So a few different styles, a few different rev rates as well. We had a great pair to watch a little bit earlier during A squad with a few higher rev players, Giselle Pass, Laura Plazas, and then the players going a little bit straighter, Lily Robles, and CDB, Carolyn Doran Ballard, kind of attack it from a little bit different ways. And the interesting part was that we saw different types of styles have success in different parts of the block. So it seemed like the players going a little more direct tended to have a little bit better success in the early portion. And then it was kind of that zone jump. And all of a sudden, you kind of saw the higher rev players find some bigger numbers out there toward the end.
Yeah, just a reminder, there is no bowling on the right side of your screen currently. The players will bowl the first 2 games on fresh. The health protocols and procedures still lingering around from the COVID-19 pandemic. And just we talk about how good of a look Jordan Richard has. She's 7-10s on us right here.
So you're saying it's starting all over again?
Well, I think she's going to pick it up right here. It was picked in this bowling stadium on national television.
That's true. Anthony Nyer, whose sister is actually she's bowling actually right in front of where we're located at here. Alexis Nyer, former collegiate standout at Delaware State, junior Team USA member, now part of the PWBA tour here in 2021.
The thing I'm watching here is, Amanda Vermilia. It plays a similar line to Jordan Richard. Does it in a different way. A little bit different tilt on her bowling ball. Definitely slower ball speed. But them being paired up together for 3 days, I'm interested to see if Jordan does have success. If Amanda's going to follow right along. Amanda looks to be deeper than Jordan to start. Mm-hmm. She's in around the 14th board, throwing it to the right rangefinder down lane, the tracer, that dark marking you see down there. Want to give a shout out to everybody here in the chat. Hello to Chris, Rep, Bill. Thanks for the dialogue we had earlier this week. Pete, Tyler, Michelle, Lance. If there's anything you guys would like for us to talk about today or dissect or get into that maybe we didn't get into earlier, or maybe you're just joining us, we'd be more than happy to accommodate and talk about some of the topics you may want to hear about here, as we are in Reno at the National Bowling Stadium. Newly renovated. It's something that I haven't talked about a whole lot because I was just here for 16 days straight. And we talked about it a lot for 16 days, but that doesn't mean that that you joined us for that and that you're just here for women's professional bowling. And goodness gracious, Alyssa Ferraro, solid 9. That was a great shot.
Alyssa, a staple in the Bowl TV chat when she's not competing. So I know a lot of fans out there in our community, the Bowl TV community, cheering on Alyssa this week. She bowled very well at the Women's Championships a little bit earlier prior to lacing up here for the Queens, and a fan favorite for sure. They weren't a fan of that night.
No, not at all. Jordan Richard, 3 out of 4.
Just taking a quick glance around. Sharon Powers over on 29 and 30 with the front 5.
Amanda Vermillion here. In my opinion, she's a little deep, a little deeper on the lane than I would think. Should be to start the squad at least. I would be a little bit further right, maybe with more of a controllable ball, but we'll see how it pans out for her. Pretty good shot there, leaving a 4-pin.
Better shot for Heather. Coming in light a couple times there.
Yeah, Heather's biggest issue has been repeatability. When she makes a shot like that, you think, holy cow, she's incredible. But over the years, she had to really break through. And it's just because of lack of repeatability. Has a couple of bad shots a game. Good spare shooter, though. Again, the top 64. One player already in. Dasha Kovalova is automatically going to be in the bracket. If she doesn't qualify inside the top 64, she'll automatically be seated 64th. But I would be willing to bet that she will make it inside the top 64. We have 110 players. 64 will make the bracket.
Dasha currently bowling on the squad. She's on 41 and 42, and over on 45 and 46, Courtney Ermish started off with the front 6.
Michelle, I'm going to let it slide this time. I understand that your furry friend needs to go out and take a walk and everything. But you can plan that dog walk a little bit earlier so that you can get in here and listen to our stellar breakdown right on the intro. And I'm just giving you a hard time, Michelle. Glad you're with us here today. A couple of questions came in. What do we see in this squad compared to the last squad? Well, it's really early. We just got started, so I don't know if I can really be making any sort of rambunctious analysis here, or robust, I guess I should say, analysis. And see, I really do think Amanda's a little, I think she moved left on that one, and now she 2-pins. But in about a game and a half, if she's still in the same spot, she's probably striking. So look for her. If she stays right there to bowl 240 game number 3, because they're going to bowl fresh, as we talked about earlier today. It's 40% of the games through the 3 days of qualifying are all on fresh, because they're just going to move one pair over to the right after this game. Yeah, I do think Jordan Richard will lead this squad. I said that a little while ago. It wouldn't surprise me to see Stephanie Zavala, our champion from last week. Got a nice style that I think could match up well here as well. And because she just came off of a big win. I can see her carrying that over into qualifying here. Danielle McEwen, another one.
No, we had a question about Haley Richards. She's actually bowling with Danielle, so they'll be on one of our featured pairs next game. They're just off the cameras right now. Courtney Ermish up to 7 in a row.
You guys know I'm the biggest Liz Johnson fan in the building.
I've heard that a time or two, yes.
But I know Liz is going to attack him a straighter, and I think she'll have a nice block. But I wouldn't put her as a favorite to lead based off of her lane play strategy. But this is a marathon for Liz. This is not a sprint. And I'll give you another player, guys, that I think could have a really big block and challenge Jordan for the top spot on this 5 games is Aaron McCarthy.
We are currently up to 8 in a row for Sharon Powers on 29 and 30, and Courtney Ermish will be stepping up for her 8th frame after 7 consecutive strikes to start on 45 and 46.
Isn't that what the superheroes do in those big superhero movies? They're Sharon Powers. I think that's what they do.
Nicely done. There we
Come
go,
on.
folks.
Come on.
There we go, folks.
You know that was a good one.
All right, 8 in a row right in front of us here. Oh, right in front of us personally.
Jordan Richard is 7-10 away from the front 6. Definitely got some scores throughout the house here early on. Liz Culkin down on 17 and 18 in the 240s. I did not go down with the camera. JT was down there with his cell phone. Sharon Powers now has got an 8 count in the 9th, so no 300 game for Sharon. We still got one other run out there. It's Courtney Ermish. And I just watched that string come to an end here as she left a solid 10 pin. But off to an incredible start. Those of you that did have a question about a Bowl TV t-shirt being for purchase, the request has been sent in. And they said they're going to be working on that one. At some point in time here, you'll be able to purchase a Bowl TV t-shirt. To those of you yesterday that were inquiring about the programs, about getting a program, you can send an email to What was that email address? No, we got a couple of them. I want to make sure I get the right one. That was marketing@bowl.com. Send an email to marketing@bowl.com if you're interested in getting a program.
Taking a quick look around the house and live scoring. Caitlin Johnson, 258 to kick things off.
Trader player.
Definitely see that with the angles she's had success playing in the past. And a little bit lower rev rate to kind of keep angles in front of her. That was one of the things that Shannon Sellens had said was kind of her keys to success. Knew she really didn't have any missed room to the right. So, her miss throughout the block was going to be hopefully left and hopefully not too left. But she kind of had, the zone we talked about right in the track there, kind of looking at that 10, 11, 12 area, just trying to keep everything in front of her, make good shots, fill her frames, and ran down the scores a little bit earlier as she was able to lead things here in the early going. Liz Johnson, chance for 246. Brianna Cote can get to 247. Liz Culkin, 232. Sharon Powers is going to be in the 260s. Courtney Ermish is going to finish at 54.
I just added another area. And I wanted to check in on Aaron McCarthy. As I said, her and Jordan Richards picked the squad. Aaron now can only bowl 177 to start. Megan Allen Ford, Jasmine Snell, Valerie Bercier. Crossing with Aaron this week. The way the event falls, it's actually 2 weeks. Question here in the chat, did we get a chance to catch up with Shannon after the first block? We did, and it's posted on social media. Available on Facebook, and I believe Twitter and Instagram as well. Nice shot by Amanda Vermillion. Here's Jordan Richard up in the 10th. She's got a chance to bowl 9 strikes this game for 219. Oh, trips the 2-pin
How
forward.
about that?
Yeah, they're tightening up a little bit down lane. We saw that in A squad. Who was on Carolyn's pair? That was playing a little bit deeper.
Giselle Pass
Yep,
and
Giselle.
Laura Plazas.
Yeah, we saw Giselle start to lose the 2-pin. She bowled 240 the first game.
151 start for Heather. Amanda 195.
Yep.
Alyssa can get to 179, and Jordan after the trip 2.
Yeah, this is an interesting shot here.
Like she moved in a bit there as well.
Oh, that's got to hook a lot. Well, if you want to continue watching this pair, lanes 53 through 56, they're going to stay right here, and they'll just be switching over to the pair to the right, bowling on fresh again. Bounce out of here. We'll head back over and check in on 69 and 70, 71 and 72. Jasmine Snell finished 185. Aaron McCarthy 177, striking out in 10th frame. Megan Allensworth with 222. And now Valerie Bercier can start out. Make that one. James is asking Shannon P or O. It's actually Shannon S. Shannon Sellens led the squad earlier today. Yeah, Brian, that's a good observation. Blair from Storm Bowling, who does social media work for them, does a great job. She's bowling the event. She's got them bowling the women's championships. And the scoreboard changes are coming. There we go, right on cue. Jordan's shot there was left to target down lane. She needs to get to the right of that rangefinder. It rolled right over the rangefinder. Hello to Jeff Baker. I think the last time I saw Jeff Baker, I ran into him at the Denver airport, if I remember correctly.
You seem to run into a lot of people at airports.
Yeah, and I didn't actually run into him. I just saw him there and we had a conversation.
Well, that's good. Otherwise, that would just be rude.
And I would have fallen down. He'd probably play linebacker for any NFL team and start. That's better. That ball was about 3 boards right of the right rangefinder right there. I got to get used to you being here, Aaron, because I answer all the old questions in the chat, and then I see you answer them in the chat and give everybody all the answers, and I'm late to the party.
It's a team effort, the way I see it. So usually the questions are good questions, so that's why we're addressing them and helping them out. And so, but in case someone's new who maybe is not in the chat yet or saying,
Yeah, I'm lazy. I don't want to type it out. I'd rather just tell everybody I'm here. It was a great pickup, Chris. Oh, that's way inside.
Sydney Brummett early 4-bagger after 175 in the opener. Over on 51 and 52. Finished 6th in this building at the Queens in 2018.
5 players have not missed yet this game. Anywhere between 2 frames and 5 frames thus far.
Mike, I feel one of our favorite traditions here on Bull TV over the course of the past couple events is the over-under for perfect games on the week, on the block, on the day.
That's a good one.
And
That's a good one.
and we already have one of the blocks done. We have the 297 high game so far.
We do.
So we got 4 games left, multiple possibilities this game, and 3 games to go afterwards.
Okay. So I'm going to say we're going to have 1 a day qualifying. So that's 3. Then I'm going to say we're going to have 1 in the bracket, which will be 4. Then I'm going to add a half. So the over-under this week is 4.5, 300 games.
If this was an option at the row,
Yeah.
their great sports betting establishment that they have there,
Yep.
if that line was there, I feel if I was a betting man, I like the over, but I feel you want us to take the over here. I like the over.
You like the over? You like over 4.5?
I like over 4.5.
It's a pretty high number, actually.
It is a big number. I agree.
I'm actually begging people to take the under.
Begging for the under. All right.
Begging people to take the under on 4.5.
I think it's a good line. It's a line that makes you think. We already kind of know what happened today. First block, so I think one per day is certainly within reason. I just feel we'll see some numbers in the bracket matches. So that's why I went with over, and everyone disagrees with me so far. But that's okay.
JR? Do we have anybody in the chat that used to watch Dallas? My parents watched Dallas when I was growing up. I still remember my parents getting so excited all week long about watching the episode to figure out who shot JR.
Who was it?
I don't think they ever figured it out.
I feel we've passed all spoiler alerts outside of this is on Netflix or something like that.
Yeah, here's a spoiler for you. Ready for it?
I'm ready.
The 2022 Super Bowl. We'll see the Los Angeles Rams defeating the Buffalo Bills. So no reason to watch the NFL season this year because I just spoiled it for everybody.
There we go. And shout out to the Rams because they're going to lose first week to the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
So I mean, they can only go 16-1 on the season, which is still good. I mean, that's not bad, but bold prediction.
Speaking of Dallas again, the show Dallas, when I was a kid, I used to walk up to my mom and go, "Bobby, I sold the ranch." And I didn't even know what it meant. I was like 9. Well, we got our 300 watch out there, and currently right now, Tanya Rompumper, 47 and 48, has the front 5. That was our last hope for a 300 game in game number 2, B-Squad qualifying.
Good question from James in the chat, who was following along with the ITC last week. If you bowled the collegiate tournament last week in Michigan, does that make you ineligible to bowl in collegiate tournaments the next year? And James, it does not. So obviously, with some of the scholarship implications with winning money at this event, players do have to fill out forms to become eligible for scholarship money and things of that nature. But but they are eligible to bowl. So Katie Robb, who won the Intercollegiate Singles Championships on the lanes this week. Addie Nelson from St. Ambrose. Hope Gramley is on this squad from McKendree. There's probably one or two other players who competed this week, but so yes, collegiate players do have the opportunity to compete at this event without losing their collegiate eligibility. Tanya did not strike in her 6th frame, so we are currently still without a 300 here at the 2021 USBC Queens. All right, folks, we're going to bring in our first ball rep here of the week to get a little insight for what's happening on the lanes. Matt, you can hear us, right? You're good to go on that? Thumbs up. We'll bring him in. Matt McNeil going to be joining the broadcast. Matt, can you hear us?
Test. There we go.
There we go.
All right.
We're in business, so.
With this microphone, I feel like I'm going to be at like the Cal Neva Lounge just down the road, fly me to the moon.
This is a true story. I've seen Matt McNeil sing karaoke
in the Cal Neva.
At the Cal Neva.
That's
yes.
right.
Wouldn't it be more like
what? We're crushing the viewership right now by them having to listen to me and Mike sing show tunes.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful.
It's out of control. I love it. Matt, obviously A squad in the books already, B squad out there right now. So what were kind of some of the notes that you guys saw out there for A squad that maybe they didn't see in practice as much for the folks who are out there right now? What was kind of the big message to get the pins here in day number 1?
Well, I thought A squad played them fabulously. I think that led to a higher scoring pace than what was originally anticipated. They stayed to the right further. They're a little more disciplined. Also, I think it was a little easier to stay for the right and play straighter because the fronts didn't seem to hook as much. I think on this 4th run now of this Queens pattern, the fronts are hooking a little more. They're playing a little flatter. So I think because they're hooking more, the players wanted to get away from that, so they started moving left. And I don't know if they're going to set up that nice shim that they set up this morning because they're just kind of looking, there's some scores out there, but they're looking dicey as well. So it's going to be a real toss-up there.
We kind of saw that in the first block, looking at some of the straighter players having a little more success early on, some of the higher rev rates seeming to get their score toward the end of the block. Mike's been debating about kind of best play. He feels that at like 9, 10, 11, 12, the track area is kind of the dominant place to play, the best place to kind of find continued success. Are you guys seeing that as well?
Yeah, I think if you're there, you got to be able to go right up the lane, and your miss has to be just a little over your toe, almost to the left. You also got to make sure you got a ball that's going to be clean enough to get through there, because the fronts are hooking a lot more. We're using fire oil, which, it tends to grab the ball and make, that's why they call it fire. It hooks more. So it's you really got to make sure you got enough axis tilt and rotation to get a ball through there, and then not have it go sideways. That's the other thing. And this is kind of a sneaky pattern, because the front hook so much that your ball doesn't hook down lane, and players see it not hooking down lane. They're like, oh, I need a stronger ball. I need more surface. When in fact, it's the opposite. They need like a cleaner cover, something that's going to get down the lane that doesn't bleed off so much.
Matt, one of the things we kind of observed about A squad was kind of the lack of traffic on the left side. A few more left-handers here on this squad, including Angie Ramirez-Perea, who, Nick Hoagland really liked the look she had yesterday during the practice session while we were watching that. Which I'm sure you enjoyed it. But kind of, what's the message to Angie today as we laugh this one out?
I'll tell you what, Ray Charles could average 220 on the left in this place. No, I'm just kidding. Angie's just got to keep it simple. She's got to keep the ball in front of her, make good shots, get it off her hand clean, give the ball a chance to strike. That's what you got to do here, and you just got to make sure the ball slows down closer to you, and you don't give away the 1-2. That's the stadium rules. It's always been the stadium rules, and it continues to be the stadium rules. And if you don't play by the rules, the stadium beats you up. And I think that's actually pretty applicable on both sides of the lane, but especially on the left side here.
Matt, would you mind showing the folks at home that topography?
Oh yeah, I was going to give you guys kudos, because this is so. I've been competing my whole life pretty much, and we got these topography maps, guidebook. It's kind of like a yardage book for a golfer, and so basically, flip it up. It's got every lane and the topography report on it. So basically, all the players got one, all the reps got one, and this is invaluable. This is absolutely top-notch, world-class. So USBC, I tip my hat to you guys. This is definitely going the extra mile to really enhance the competition experience for every bowler here and for the reps. This is huge. To have this data in your hand on something tangible where the reps can see it, the players can see it, and make very good choices a lot more quickly. This is huge.
Now,
So
Matt, will you
my hat's off.
And use that maybe in the future or an Open Championship?
Oh yeah. This thing's going in my safe when I get back home. I don't want nothing happening to this book.
Anybody on Team Storm this week that you think we should really make sure that we keep an eye on? I know you got such a huge staff, and I hate to put you on the spot and call out players, because I know that they're all great abilities, but anybody this week we just think we should keep an eye on?
Yeah, I think Danielle McEwen's ready to have a really good week. I think Liz Johnson's going to have another good week. Stephanie Zavala is the new champion out here on the PWBA Tour. She's red hot. She's bowling very well, and she's got a lot of confidence under her belt now. I expect her to have a good week. We got, oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, you start digging how deep our staff is, and there's a lot of names that I'm going to leave out there, but we have. I'm really thankful for everything that Bill and Barb and Storm do for our team. You know, they go out actively, and they want the best to represent them. And as a rep here, it's just really a treat for us to have such a deep staff that where any given day, almost all your staff could be up on the leaderboard. So it's really good, and my hat's off to Bill and Barb and Storm and what they do for us and what they do for the sport of bowling.
And you're out here working with Steve Jacobs and Jim Callahan this week. I want to ask about the trio bowling. Verity Crawley, who finished up the last set really nicely the last 3 games. Daria Payok, who's just kind of sort of still trying to find it out here on the tour after not being over here for a while. Had a nice 270 game in that block, but still underperformed for her ability. And then you've got, of course, Diana as well, who's won this event twice. What's the status report on the trio bowling crew?
The international trio, the Magnificent Three, we'll call them. Verity had a great day. She's been bowling very well, and it's for Verity, it's been like a crescendo. Every week she's getting better, and she's really improving mentally. She's constantly working on her physical game. I think she's having every week she makes better choices. She makes them more quickly. She's making better shots. Her spare game is coming along hopefully the way she wants it. I know it's definitely been improving a lot as well. So, she's going to keep going like this, and that's would be a reason why she would be another one on that list of people who could have a very, very good week and end up bowling for the title. Diana has been going that way as well. Last couple of weeks, the performances are going like this. And, she kind of had a little rough day physically. I think she didn't throw it as good as she wanted to, but she really gutted it out. She went a few pins over. But I'll tell you what, when you're battling a little uncomfortableness as a player, +3 for 5 games on this condition is really good. She covered a lot of her spares. She made a few splits here and there, some washouts. And she really gutted out some tense frames, which is really important. That's what I shared with her. I said, even though you don't feel you went out and you bowled fantastically well, you made a lot with only, say, maybe feeling like you're 60-70% that day. So that's really huge. And that's how great bowlers keep themselves in contention, because you can't win the tournament the first day, but you can certainly lose it.
Yeah, and Daria, I mentioned earlier that I feel like if she hits the pocket 12 times, the way that her power through the pin, so to speak, is that she could be dominant out here. That's why I'm always so bullish on her, and she's still trying to find her way a little bit now.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair statement. Now that she has access to Rotogrip and Storm equipment, I think that adds some new perspectives into it. I think. Look at the whole COVID situation. How many times was she able to get out on a big stage and compete in the last year and a half? And it's not very many. So, when you come into high-level competition and you haven't been acclimated into that arena like some of the other players have, they've had high-level competition opportunities, they're just more mentally comfortable. And they ease into it, and they start making good shots, and they make good decisions, and their instincts are a little sharper, and they're a little more patient, and they're a little more relaxed, and they're a little more confident. And I call it just being tournament sharp. And so I think Daria, it's going to keep building that way. As long as we keep doing the right thing and sticking to the process and really buying into the culture that we're trying to create on our team, I think she's going to do just fine and keep progressing in a positive direction. That's really what we're focused on.
Cool, man. Well, hey, thanks for spending a little bit of time with us and giving us some insight and answering some tough questions there, man. You're welcome to come by anytime you like, and thanks for coming by.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Appreciate it, and hope we didn't lose too many viewers on my show tune rendition there. But yeah, I'll swing by again, and for everybody from USBC, I just want to say thanks again. This is really cool, and to put on this tournament, especially with all the circumstances, to put on the tournament and also put on the ladies tour. You guys and gals have worked really, really hard. So just very thankful that we have a stage for these ladies to compete on. So.
Absolutely. Thanks, Matt. All right, that's Matt McNeil stopping by from Storm. Appreciate his insight and his time with us as always. Fascinating young man with a decorated amateur career. No stranger to bowl TV. Go back 8-10 years ago. He was the show of Bowl TV, coming out here bowling open championships and winning Eagles. And now has moved on to find a career in the bowling industry now for a couple of years. Storm Products, and oversees the women's tour. And has always got a great team of reps and help out here. George, so enjoyed that very much. Hopefully you did as well as we head into game number 3. Aaron Smith joins me back now here in the booth. It's like different tag team and moving all those graphics around every single game. All 8 pairs we have streaming here from National Bowling Stadium.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Sure does.
That's a cliche. Mike, who we want to watch this game?
Well, we've got a pair here before. Courtney Ermish, who's +5. Tanya Rompumper, who's +11. Melissa Kammerer is -61 right now. And Alexis, I figure we'll start here. See where else you may want to take us during this squad. There's been a report that you can barely hear me. Not sure what that's about. We haven't changed anything. Unless Matt was just extremely loud. I don't know. How do I sound right now?
Testing 1, 2, 3. Good advice.
Normally, I'm one of the loudest people on here. What could have happened? My volume is lower than Aaron. Okay. Interesting. We're on the exact same soundboard.
Maybe it's just the heavy bass in my voice that projects out a little bit more.
It could be. Could be. Oh, maybe this screen is a little bit louder.
All right. Switch back to this one for a quick second. So
Let's see if this fixes things a little bit, and if so, then I'll make an adjustment on my end right here.
hello. Sound check. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3.
Maybe a little bit better here. It's the same. But I don't know. Was I louder earlier?
Yeah, this is weird. All of our settings are set exactly the same.
Yeah, I'm gonna try something though. I'm gonna do something. Maybe it'll work. I guess I can just talk loud and mess up all the bowlers as they bowl. Okay, be right back.
All right. This is game 3 of 5 here. B squad opening round of qualifying at the 2021 USBC Masters. These competitors, along with the bowlers from A squad, will be back on the lanes over the course of the next 2 days. In order to determine who advances to the double elimination match play bracket here at the Queens. "63 players and defending champion Dasha Kovalova will advance to the double elimination bracket here. 3-game total pinfall matches will determine who advances, and eventually we will get down to our top 5 for the stepladder final, which will take place Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 local time here in Reno. With a true double elimination format, which means the top overall seed would have to be defeated twice, not once, but twice. In order to not take home the 2021 tiara awarded to the Queen's champion.
Okay, I have made an adjustment. I'm curious if this is any better.
You're moving for me right now. This does seem louder.
All right, let's see how I do here. Let's see if I'm louder now, everybody. When I make a specific effort to project my volume, then I sound fine. Okay, well, folks, let me tell you the answer here. You see, when I come out on tour, I bring a bag of tricks, and I just happen to pull out my Audio Technica headset that I travel with, just in case, that I had back in the office. And I've now successfully switched over to this from a Sennheiser number 2.
Very specific details there.
Yes. Much gooder. Sweet. Okay, well, I fixed that problem. What else we need to troubleshoot here? We could watch bowling now. Scores seem a bit lower here. This squad is that just me just coming up with something, or do we have some data to back that?
Well, taking a look around the house right now, and I see they do have after 2 games scrolling here on site. So let's check the. But we do have Stephanie Zavala up plus 101 after 2. She shot 279 last game. Was the report from Bowl TV. But does seem a little slower out of the gates here. In immediate viewing range. Nothing too crazy outside of Stephanie. That's kind of the one score that sticks out, and she's on 49 and 50 right now. Started with an open spare strike before. Next biggest score in our general vicinity is plus 50, so that's a pretty big big range. Take a look at.
I like it, James. James saying, what, no score dash here this week? And no, we don't have score dash. I think a large reason why we don't is we've got multiple people working here, the Bull TV crew here, and then we've also got live scoring, which helps.
There's some nice scores coming off of the lanes, 25 and 26, not only for the game, but overall. Blair Blumenscheid has a chance to get to plus 91 this game if she can strike out the 10th. And Caitlin Johnson, we mentioned her in the early going, having a strong start, I believe 258 the number in game number 1, has an opportunity to get to more than plus 100. She just stepped up in her 10th frame, did not strike on the first shot. So with a spare, she can get to plus 113 with a strike on her fill ball. So, thinking of scoring pace from what we saw in A squad, pretty similar to what we saw leading after 3. We had, I believe Shannon Sellens was in the lead heading into game 4, and she was right around the, I think, plus 124 or so.
Yep.
So those are some of the bigger scores here early on. Liz Johnson, spare, 6 in a row. She was at plus 24 after 2.
Liz Johnson, question about where's Liz Johnson. She's down on like 21 and 22-ish area, if I recall. And she's got a max score 290. She's going to be on our pairs here coming up. Yep, Liz Johnson bowling with Rebecca Azurmendi, Cody Shearer, and Jennifer Hockersack. They started on lane 61 and 2, went to 63 and 4. On 21 and 22 this game, and then go to 35 and 36 the next game.
We do have an update after 2, and as mentioned, Stephanie Zavala plus 101 leading the way, 222, 279. Caitlin Johnson was at plus 87. Danielle McCune plus 53, Liz Culkin plus 50, Blair at plus 47, Clara Guerrero plus 39, Haley Richard plus 38, Jordan Richard plus 36, as is Brianna Cote. Dasha Kovalova plus 32, defending champ, Sydney Brummett plus 30, Sharon Powers and Liz Johnson at plus 24 after both of them had a very strong opening game, and then when they hit the next pair, which is also fresh, both struggled. 159 for Sharon, and 178 for Liz. So taking a look all the way down with A squad in the books through 5 and B squad through 2 games, a total of 59 players averaging at least 200 or better. So the cut at the moment, minus 12, obviously still very early here in the 2021 edition of the Queens. Well, we've been writing down scores and working on some audio here. We have cruised right along in game number 3. Talked about Sharon Powers. We're watching her right now, plus 24. Raylan Hazen, plus 2.
Yeah, Raylan, she's from Utah. She bowls locally in the Salt Lake area.
Up on the approach right now, Maria Ilanova, minus 24, and then Josie Barnes, minus 16. That's pretty good. Nice shot for the double there. Josie now looking for 5 in a row. Probably a pretty fun week here, at least for qualifying for Maria and Josie, especially if they start tossing some strikes up here. Got the associate head coach at Vanderbilt, and Josie Barnes, and then one of her student athletes for the past couple of years up until 2020 is Maria. So
yeah, I actually said to them when I was getting shots on my B-roll practice film compilation I put out, I actually said, who'd you guys have to pay to get paired up together here? Come on, tell me. How much did it cost for you two to get paired up together? They're like, we got a lucky draw this week. They're very happy to be bowling together. Had some questions about the scoreboard here, a few comments about the way we got our picture-in-picture built. A lot of times folks ask, can you make the scores bigger so it's easier to see like on a mobile device and whatnot? So what JT did here is he said, there's no bowling on the right side of your screen, so let's go ahead and put the scoreboards up in an area. It moves your eyes to the left side of the screen. So that's why we did that, was just to be able to show you the scores a little bit more clearly and really make it so that your eyes are focused on the pair that we have, and then it flips when they go to the other pair. So it's a unique setting. If there wasn't this spaced outness, we would have the normal scoreboards. But the other thing that you wouldn't be able to see is we would have to tilt our cameras up a little bit, so you wouldn't necessarily see what's happening at the scoring table and on this side of the couches. And with this setup, we'll still be able to have the queens and the sponsor masking units down below. It gives us an opportunity to show a little bit more of the bowlers area. So we talked about it, and I thought this was a nice change. I get it if you're used to something different, but this is just kind of how we laid it out here. Obviously, when we get into match play, we will be moving it back to more of a traditional look that you're used to seeing here on Bowl TV. So I appreciate the feedback, though, very much.
One thing you didn't include there is that instead of at a typical bowling center, we're looking at TV monitors. Here we got massive projection screens as well above the lanes here at the NBS. So
yep,
it's would make for a unique crop regardless, because with the way it works, the only frame, I guess the frame numbers are in the middle, so it's actually used for both the top and the bottom. So would have to crop the shot a little bit differently as well. So make sure all that fit in there.
Yeah, the only thing that I can understand where, you know, I can see somebody saying, well, we always had a chance to kind of see what's happening as like a voyeur on these other pairs left and right. You know, you can kind of see balls travel down the lane, and I see how we're kind of blocking that on the right. But, you know, it's different, unique to this event. We got a different format, too, than what you see. Hey, it makes it easier on me up here in the booth, being able to look at our screen and see those scores.
Absolutely. Got some scores rolling in through 3.
Yeah, what do we got?
Got Danielle McCune at plus 73. Sabrina Divis plus 68. Tanya Ramanpur is going to get to the plus 50 range with a spare in the 10. Did have, let's see, who was I thinking of? Caitlin Johnson, 713, so plus 113. Blair at plus 77. Miss Johnson, we talked about her. She can get to plus 58 with a strike on the fill. Jordan Richard can get to plus 83 this game with the 9th and 10th left to go. And then Stephanie Zavala, kind of an up and down game. She had a pair of splits up there. She was unable to convert, but can still save 200. She's able to double in the 10. Stay north of plus 100. It does feel like the scoring pace is just moving a little bit slower here.
It just does, doesn't it?
Does, yes.
It really does. Plus 148 is leading the tournament from earlier today. Shannon Sellens. Will anybody get to 148 on this squad?
We're going to have 2 players above plus 100. I believe that's going to be the number after 3 games here. So, you know, when we talk about plus 148, you think, that's not too crazy of a number, but that's still basically a 230 average. So plus 150 would have been 230 average for the day. And, you know, we've seen those ups and downs. You know, we've had some big games up there. I mentioned the 297, a couple games in the 270s. But it's been very rare for players to have a consistent block of all games above 220. That just hasn't happened today.
I'm going to throw it out there right now, Aaron. As the lanes begin to break down, we saw Verity bowl really good down the stretch. Players that get on it a little bit and can make the ball hook. Change direction, bowl good down the stretch. And we have one sample size of this. But Jordan Richard here, she can bowl 247. She bowled 229 the second game, 2-0 the first game. Trend is your friend, and she's trending in the right direction. I still think she's going to lead this squad.
She's going to be in range. She's able to finish this game out.
By the way, Aaron McCarthy, 247, the other player that I picked. Aaron off to a slower start, 177, 204 to start her day. Great opportunity here to talk a little bit about what we got coming up here on Bowl TV over the next few days. Don't forget to join us tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday at 12 Eastern, 9 local time. B Squad will take to the lanes tomorrow first. Then A Squad will follow it up at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. local time. Then we'll be back Saturday, and we'll reverse the squads again. A squad will bowl first, B squad will bowl after. Then we're going to make a cut from 110 down to 64 players.
All right, athletes, you may now move to your next set of lanes.
Sunday match play begins. We'll have coverage for you beginning at 12 Eastern, 9 local. And that's going to run all the way up till what I would say about, what do you think, about 8:30, 9 o'clock local time? Aaron?
Sounds about right, yeah.
All right,
I had my
athletes, you may
volume
now move to
We'll do
your
the same thing on Monday. We'll follow it up there, and we're going to get down to a top 5. We still doing the 3 or the 4 for 3 match?
Oh, you know it.
So yeah, just to tell you folks, if you're not aware, we do have this really cool format once you do get down to once we do get down to 6 players actually. There'll be 1 player that's undefeated in the event, and we announced and talked about on the practice session yesterday that you will have to be defeated twice this year. The number 1 seed has to be beaten twice since we don't have any network television constraints. We're able to do it here on Bowl TV, so they'll have to lose twice if they're going to be defeated. And then there's always that cool match where we have 4 players going for 3 spots to be the number 3, 4, and 5 seeds. And then, of course, Tuesday right here on Bowl TV, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. local. Step ladder finals here from the 2021 USBC Queens.
All right, to kick off game 4, we're going to take a look at our new tournament leader, Caitlin Johnson, plus 113.
Squad leader.
Squad leader, correct. Thank you. She's going to be joined by Sandra Gongora, who's at plus 11, and then Blair Blumenschott at plus 77. Blair had a 298 at the Women's Championships, and she came up to me after she wrapped up. She had some ups and downs along the way, but bowled overall very well. But she asked me, has there ever been someone who's had 2 251s and a 298 in the same set at the Women's Championships? And I said, probably not. That's a pretty unique feat. And I said, if all those games were in the same set, you'd have an 800. So there we go. But so Blair, a little confidence heading in this week, and off to a nice start here through 3.
Yeah, we get to watch her. You know, we talked about it earlier. She's somebody that works in the industry. She handles social media for Storm, does a great job. Out here competing. I know she spends a lot of time with Leanne Holzenberg. They practice together. So good to see Blair bowling well. Would love to see her make the bracket and win some matches. Blair, thanks for all you do for promoting bowling at all levels, especially the PWBA tour. So. I always wanted to say this. Now batting in the National Bowling Stadium, number 14, Sandra Gongora. And it could be. It is. Strike. On our way to lunch earlier, JT made a great observation that down the stretch, or early, it seemed like the straighter players got the scores, and then down the stretch, the people that hooked the ball a little bit more got the scores. But here's Caitlin Johnson, who goes a little bit straighter, opens up leading her squad after 3 games, and now we see how she'll do the last couple games. It's the mixer there.
Two for two on the right lane so far for Sandra. He's crossing right around 15. Just outside the down lane range marker. Caitlin Johnson a double after opening in frame one. Her rookie season out on the PWBA Tour after an excellent collegiate career at Weber International. Had some success for Junior Team USA as well. That one's got the hustle. And the ever popular 1-8. A few pins fall late. Nice cover there. And the washout for Sandra, and Blair potentially making a ball change here. Done.
Now might be a good time for one. With two opens through 4 frames and just 1 strike. Yep, looks like a ball change. A good one at that.
Got a couple splits on the left lane, then a flat 10 in the fourth. That one able to get to the mixing zone.
All right, Caitlin. So just like we talked about, you heard me talk about it this morning. Whenever a player opens, you want to throw a double to make up for it. Stay at a 2-0 pace. Caitlin has 2 opens and 2 doubles. So if this is the trend, what's going to happen in the next frame? That was a beautiful shot by Sandra, by the way. Caitlin's going to open the next frame, right? Because she goes open, double, open, double. What's next? So I'll put it to you in the chat. Will she open the next frame? And I know you're all going to say no. She's not going to open 3 times this game as well as she's bowling. That ain't going to happen. I tend to agree with you, but the trend right here would say that she is.
Question in the chat. So wait for that opportunity. Sandra looking for some success here on the left lane. Splitting a washout. She did convert the washout on the fourth.
Pretty nice shot there. Wraps the 10.
Did see a question about the pink flags down on the lanes, and that's actually those were in place for the women's championships. So essentially, if you have a scoring correction, if your bowling ball doesn't come back, if you gotta get a pin reset, whatever it is, those are actually used to wave down some of the lane monitors.
Are you allowed to bring your own flag?
I believe that is okay as well. That is allowable.
Hey, real quick. Stephanie Zavala, front 6. Back to Caitlin Johnson. There you go.
That trend.
That's right. Bucking the trend. Way to go, Caitlin. She's well on her way. Blair striking back-to-back times on the left lane with the ball change.
This is picking up for a couple players here. Dasha Kovalova 5 in a row after a spare in the first. Jordan Richard, spare 4-bagger.
Yeah, that's right. She's going to lead the squad.
Liz Johnson, plus 58, front 5.
Yeah, and I said she wouldn't lead the squad. I said she would be like top 10, but not be at the top of the leaderboard. And Elizabeth, if you're watching this later, I apologize. I'm still the leader of your fan club, but I just got to call it like I see it. I'm not always right, as you guys know, but I'm not afraid to share my opinion. I'll admit when I'm wrong. It's more fun that way, though. I'm sure somebody out there that's bored, that's good with computers, could go back over the last 3 weeks of the PWBA Tour and pick out every comment that I said that I was wrong about and make quite a mashup. But it'd be a lot easier if you just to go find all the stuff I'm right about, because it's easier to find stuff I'm right about because I'm right more than I'm wrong. I don't have any stats to back that up, but I'm just, trust me, you don't have to look it up.
I enjoy the confidence in your proclamation there.
Yeah, of course. All right, Sandra. Double. Makes up for her open earlier in the game. Caitlin Johnson. Hello. That's me. I'm just leading the squad, everybody.
You have an update after 3.
Oh, good.
258, 229, 226, plus 113 for Caitlin. Zavala plus 98 after 197 that last game, but trending in the right direction. Trend the word of the day.
I'll tell you what, this pair has been fun to watch. I mean, Blair makes that ball change after not a good start at all. Now she's got a triple up there. She's 4 out of 5 on the ball change.
She's next in the standings, plus 77 for B squad.
Good for her.
Danielle McCune plus 73, Jordan Richard plus 71.
Go ahead and say that name again for me in the plus score.
Jordan Richard plus 71.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sabrina Divis plus 68. Liz Johnson plus 58. And then let's see, where are we at for 55 players averaging at least 200 or better. The current cut line. Is showing at minus 14.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so the scores are lower this squad.
Actually should be minus 15 at the moment.
Okay.
Because Dasha currently in the number, so.
Yeah. Hey, I'm pretty happy here with Caitlin Johnson here. I'm really impressed with how she's bowled this game number 4. The wheels. Oh, look at that, Blair. That's some clean living right there. What's going on in our other pair with Stephanie? Did she miss yet? No, she hasn't. I'm gonna look for her. There's Stephanie. Okay. Good run for Stephanie Zavala, last week's champion.
She was unable to convert, so still can get to the 260s this game, and that would put her ahead of, she's able to do that, ahead of Shannon Sellens, who's the overall leader in 5 from A squad at plus 148. But Caitlin Johnson is going to be right around that here. She finishes with the last 4 for 224. So she'll be at plus 137. Late 4-bagger for Blair, 202. She'll be at plus 79. And now Sandra gets to 228 this game with 3 more strikes. Get her to plus 39.
Oh, very nice. A couple of oddities here to report. Haley Richard has 85 in the 7th with a strike in the 8th.
Wow.
Another oddity is Danielle McEwen.
Same pair. 6 foul
6 foul in the 7th frame.
after 5 in a row.
Yeah.
What's happening on 75 and 76?
I don't know. I think ghost hunters might be out here later today to try to see if there's some demons down there or something. So Caitlin Johnson, after having a couple opens through 4 frames, really pulled a tremendous back half of this game. 224. Sandra's going to bowl 216. I'm confident she's going to pick this up. 202 for Blair. So we got 3 games over 200 here on this pair.
Question from John a couple of minutes ago in the Bull TV chat. And we had Matt McNeil on a little bit earlier talking about the importance of this tool this week, but John's question, what does the topography report show?
Yeah, and it looks like your weather forecast on your favorite news network. It's really what it looks like. It lights the lane up green, red, yellow, and then it gives you the information on what all that means. And it basically shows you where the lane isn't perfectly level and at what degree it's not level and in what direction that it's not level.
And when we talk about this, we were talking about fractions of
Absolutely.
measurements. It's very minimal, but there are still slight differences from pair to pair, even though this was a relatively new install here at the National Bowling Stadium. Each pair has its own peaks and valleys, if you will, along the way. So even though everything within spec for USBC, each lane still has its own little unique characteristics, and the topography report kind of gives the players the roadmap to understand that.
Yep.
And that's, for, maybe at league night, you're not going to see those changes quite as much if a pair has these differences. But, when you're playing on a flat surface here, tough oil pattern, knowing that, maybe the right lane is, just based off topography, might be just a tad tighter. If you're two-pinning the entire game because of that, if you're right-handed, and you don't make that association based off of what the topography report says, you're falling behind to your opponents. Not falling up behind, however, at the moment. Jordan Richard, chance for 290 still. A great question, though. John, and we'll do our best to answer questions along the way. Looks like Dasha Kovalova has gotten to plus 100. The defending champion.
Liz Johnson, 247.
Past champion here at the Queens in Reno, 2009. Although the TV finals for that event actually were not held at the National Bowling Stadium. They built 4 lanes across the street at the Reno Event Center, which is also home of the Clash of Champions that year.
What do you we talked about a couple weeks ago, and you weren't on the broadcast, Aaron, but I made a joke about if we'd have 4 Nebraska finalists in Nebraska, JT and I were going to find some lane panels, and we were going to actually set up 2 lanes inside the Nebraska stadium where they play football. That didn't happen. There were only 2 Cornhuskers that made the show. But what do you think about here? I know there's got to be some lane panels here at the National Bowling Stadium in the back. What do you think about we get a couple of those and we go set up in the street out there underneath the Reno sign and do a little bowling out there for the championship?
This all sounds so familiar.
Does it really?
It does.
You mean this isn't a new original idea?
I don't think so. It seems like it's been done before.
I'm going to check the forecast real quick. See if there's any wind.
Jordan Richard did get this first strike in the 10th frame, so 290 still out there, already in the 270s. Liz Johnson now at plus 105. Zavala finished with 253, so she's at plus 151. So
okay.
So we're going to have 2 players at least surpassing Shannon Sellens from A Squad.
Danielle McEwen, 264. Did you report that one?
The weirdest 264 she has probably ever shot. I did not,
Absolutely.
however. This Culkin gets plus 101.
Jordan Richard doubles in the 10th. What was Jordan at coming into this game?
Plus 71.
She's going to get the plus 161 if she fills it up. Will that be leading?
That'll be a couple pins ahead of Stephanie. Yes. Couple ahead. DMAC at plus 137, as is Caitlin Johnson. So we talked about the scoring pace feeling a little bit slower here in B squad, but overall some bigger scores.
Yeah, top of the leaderboard is higher, but cut number is lower thus far. So feast or famine is what I'm going to describe the first 4 games here of our B squad qualifying here from the National Bowling Stadium. Really glad you're with us here on Bowl TV. Really enjoying my time here in the booth. I'm Mike Flanagan, joined by Aaron Smith. We've also got JT on site. Also, we got a plethora of people here on site making this thing go around. We got Caitlin Nelson. We've got our Director of Operations and Tournament Director, Neil Milligan. We've also got Rob Gottschall here on hand. We got Greg Moore here. And really just too many people to mention. We've got a lot of volunteers here. We've got crew from the Women's Championship here helping out that are just far too many names to name. But special thanks to everybody that's helping put this event on here in Reno. Getting ready to head into game number 5. Had a question here from JB in the chat, wanting to know how's the revitalization of downtown going? Any new restaurants or anything? Well, there was quite a bit of that happening before the pandemic that was planned. So there's like a Top Golf suite that is over between El Dorado. No, I'm sorry, between Silver Legacy and Circus Circus, but it hasn't been open for the Masters or the U.S. Open, and now this event is not open yet. There's a really nice Mexican restaurant right next door to there. That's called El Jefe, I believe is the name of it, and it's really good. It's only open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I believe, at this point in time. So that's kind of new if you haven't been here in a while. Circus Circus has a nice food court, which last year or the last time I was here prior to the pandemic happening, it was really booming. They had a lot of really nice restaurants over there. Only a couple are open right now, but I'm sure they're looking to reopen some more. There are a couple really nice restaurants. Nice sub shop we had for lunch today here as well. A lot of nice local treats. And then off-site, of course, if you have a rental car, there's some nice places to go as well. Harrah's closed here, so Harrah's is no longer open. But they moved Ichiban, one of my favorite places, the Japanese steakhouse. They moved it inside El Dorado. And the Chinese restaurant that was inside El Dorado, that's where it's gone now. That's where Ichiban is located. But if you liked any of the dishes that was at the old Chinese restaurant inside El Dorado, you can order them from the upstairs cafe, and they will make them after 4 p.m. for you. Same recipe, same great choices. They'll do that for you. Ruth Chris is just outside of where the hotel rooms are located at Silver Legacy. Circus Circus still has their great steakhouse. Circus Circus as well. So, yeah, there's that's kind of what's been going on. Now, you will find when you walk to the National Bowling Stadium on the sidewalk, there was a row of small stores that are now removed and gone, and it's opened up quite a bit now, and it's nice fresh cobblestone. I am also sad to report the McDonald's right across from Silver Legacy closed their doors last week after 37 years of being in the same location, just gone. But supposedly there's a new McDonald's 4 blocks away. But that was always a fan favorite. Grab some McDonald's breakfast. No longer there. Learned that the hard way 2 days ago. Aaron Smith, any restaurant happenings or any new renovations or anything that you can think of that's taking place here in Reno, or when folks come out to visit?
Well, I'm one who likes to get out of the, as much as there's a lot of great places. If you're staying at the Row, Circus, El Dorado, Silver Legacy, obviously they have all the accommodations you can need. I'm one who likes to venture out a little bit. So I've kind of grown fond of the Midtown area, which is probably about a mile south of downtown, still on Virginia Street. So, if you got a car, it's a pretty inexpensive cab ride. Or if you just want to, get some exercise, there's a few different places there. One of my favorite spots to eat at is called the Homegrown Gastropub, which is actually a fairly new place. I want to say when we were here in 18 for the Women's Championships in the Queens, I think that was kind of the time frame of when it opened up. So that particular establishment was actually one of the top-ranked food trucks originally, and the folks who ran that decided to open up a restaurant. So they brought all their homegrown, and all the food is made here locally in the area. So it's one of my favorite spots. And then even a little bit closer to downtown, if you get to the Mighty Truckee. I don't know why I always have to call it Mighty, but it's never just the Truckee River. It's the Mighty Truckee. So many cool spots have opened up across both sides. So it doesn't matter which way you go. If you want a little more to the, I guess if you're walking south on Virginia Street, to the right, there's probably a little bit more, but a few different restaurants, a few different spots to check out. One of my favorite places is actually called the Eddy. It's an outdoor bar, which is pretty cool. It's basically, they bought a space, the land. I guess people call that land when you buy space.
Yep.
But it's actually, all they have is there's like probably 6 or 7 different, I guess the truck containers, what semis pull around the country.
Okay.
They bought like 6, 7, 10 of those, cut them out, and turn them into bars, restaurants, and it's got a huge outdoor area. There's a little bocce ball you can play, depending on what part of the country you're from, bags or cornhole.
Yeah, what's the name of this place?
The Eddy.
The Eddy.
And a real cool vibe. It's very pet friendly as well, so you see a lot of folks bringing their dogs along. Family friendly. Very cool to check out. Right on the Mighty Truckee as well. So those are 2 of the newer spots, I want to say, potentially since the last time folks were here in 2018, who competed in the Women's Championships. And the Open hasn't been here since 2016. So definitely a few spots have opened up recently to check out.
And is it true, Aaron, that if you could live anywhere in the world, you would live in Reno, Nevada?
Yes, that is true.
You really do love it here.
I absolutely adore it. Absolutely 100%. I'm that 1 in a million, it seems like, when you talk to people, and it's unfair. Folks, I know some folks have had bad experiences and all that, but you got to give the town a chance. There's so many cool things to explore, and I think the moniker, the biggest little city, really fits it when you actually spend time out here. And for the Open, for the women's, we've lived out here before, and I think that's kind of the defining factor for me is. When we come here for our work events, we stay locally downtown while walking back and forth, not necessarily in a rental car driving southeast, northwest, all that stuff. But just a really big fan of the area, and especially it's just a little bit of everything. You can make the town as big as you want or as little as you want. Hence, biggest little city. I should trademark that. I just came up with that right now.
I like it. What I like what you did throughout that whole thing is you talk about the Mighty Truckee. You got that from Vacation. The Mighty Miss, Russ. The Mighty Miss. Mighty Mississippi River. And Vacation. And I also like how you say 1 in a million. Kind of like Lloyd Christmas with Mary Swanson and Dumb and Dumber. So you're telling me there's a chance. Just give it to me straight.
What a wonderful little Reno segue we had there.
Sure was.
Now back to the action here at the famed National Bowling Stadium, the heart of Reno. In the heart of Reno. 1995. We are taking a look at our tournament leader here. Jordan Richard plus 161. Amanda Vermilia plus 28. And then Alyssa and Heather in the minus right now. They find some late momentum here to bring into the final 10 games Friday and Saturday.
Just because it's fun to do, Aaron. Who did I say before the squad was going to lead the squad?
You said Jordan Richard.
Okay. I'm just double checking that.
You also mentioned it yesterday during the practice session that you wouldn't be surprised if she was a player in position. They have a few big days here at the Queens. There is an early double. Do have an update now available online after 4 games here for B squad, A squad in the books as well. So we'll take a look at it kind of all encompassing. We'll let you know which squad players are on. Jordan Richard does lead overall and the squad at plus 161. So she's averaging more than 240 so far. Her games 207, 229, 235, and 290. So she did finish off that game 961, her 4-game total plus 161. Stephanie Zavala, 222, 279, 197, 253. The momentum of the win last week at the Greater Cleveland Open. She's at plus 151. Shannon Sellens, our A squad leader, is at plus 148. Gigi Mason, who had 297 at plus 139. And then 2 players from B squad tied for 5th place, Danielle McCune and Caitlin Johnson at plus 137. Kelly Kulik, 5 games in the books, plus 136. Fania Kobo, plus 135. Kayla Pashina, plus 127. And Shannon O'Keefe, plus 119. Kelly, Fania, Kayla, and Shannon all on A squad. So for B squad at the moment, let's look at players 100 over or more. Jordan Richard plus 161, Zavala plus 151, McCune and Caitlin Johnson at plus 137, Liz Johnson plus 105, and Liz Colkin plus 101, along with Dasha Kovalova, who's at plus 100 at 269 last game. So we've got a handful of players better than plus 100. Taking a look overall, 58 players averaging at least 200. And the cut number with 1 game left to go today, Haley Richard at the moment, who's bowling on the squad at minus 15. So still a minus number for the top 64 here. Mike has been working feverishly off the scene here. He's getting some stuff set up. Mike, what are you up to over there?
I'm just getting my B-roll of Jordan Richard, who just happens to be right here, that I'll be interviewing her after the squad after she leads. So I'm able to, because she's right here, I don't have to leave the booth. I can hang out with you and all the folks watching on Bowl TV.
Speaking of all the folks on Bowl TV, we still have a giveaway left to do.
Well, you better get on it.
We're running out of time. All these strikes starting to add up. So, folks, let's knock this out of the park here. We've had a giveaway earlier today. If this is your first time here on Bowl TV, they work very simply. We just start a prompt. They'll pop up in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. It'll say a giveaway is coming. Will be coming soon. And then after that, we'll count down for about 60 seconds. You'll see another prompt at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen saying a giveaway has begun. And you'll see a submit entry button. All you have to do is click on the submit entry button, and you will be eligible for a chance to win a Bowl TV t-shirt.
Jordan looks so good right now. She has got the world. I mean, if she can get through the first couple games and then just let them open up a little bit after all these straighter players throw surface outside, she's going to be tough to beat this whole week. Has the giveaway begun?
It has not.
Oh, well, what's going on there?
I was setting it up. It takes a second.
Okay.
And folks, just as a friendly reminder, if you are watching in full screen, we do suggest you take it out of full screen for the giveaway. You can hang out and see the chat for a second. That means you should be all set to go. Got Amanda up on the approach right now. How about after Amanda's frame, we'll start the giveaway here.
The giveaway has not yet begun.
No, it has not. Still patiently waiting. But after Amanda's spare conversion here.
I think it's the giveaway. Don't we have elves working on that? The giveaway elves?
Giveaway elves.
Yeah, they're right next to the Keebler factory.
And I haven't had a Keebler
Oh
cookie in
man!
so long.
How about some? What were the ones with the? It was a chocolate cookie with the chocolate drizzled on the top. Oh man! Well, those were good.
They were, as is the spare conversion from Amanda. So let's get this thing underway, folks. Good luck, everybody. Once again, wait to see the submit entry button, and you will be good to go. A chance to win here on Bowl TV.
Jordan Richard just continuing to strike. What did she finish with the last game? Did she bowl 290?
She did bowl 290, yes.
Okay, so she might bowl another one.
She does that every game for the rest of the way out. She's going to have a good event. Bold prediction.
It wouldn't surprise me if she bowled 290 in a title match, though, and lost. But then she'd bowl 290 again the second time because she'd be the top seed and have to be defeated twice because that's how we're doing it this year. And I don't think somebody would be 290 twice. Once, maybe.
Caitlin Johnson is going to be in the 2 teams, so she's going to get potentially to 151 over with a strike on her fill ball, but is going to be well short of Jordan's run here.
Yeah, a hell of a block for Caitlin. I mean, she's really bowled well. I'm looking over to the left as well. I see Deandra Asbeatty up on the approach. She's got a double spare, triple working. And she bowled really well last week. And she bowled pretty well here as well, right, at the Women's Open Championships.
Yeah, they threw some excuse me.
Team events
up there. Yep. Team events set the team game record along with Jessica Abel, Adrian Hare, and Emily Fagan. Yep.
So she's minus 51 coming into this game and is looking to bowl her best game this set here in game number 5. So that's a good sign from Deandra. Player we haven't really talked about, Brianna Cote, who has had an incredible start to the year and has a title under her belt. She's 30 over. Probably going to finish somewhere between 30 and 60 over here with what she's pacing this game.
Congratulations to Blaze.
Yeah, Blaze.
Winning a Bowl TV t-shirt. Blaze, our marketing team will reach out to you in the next couple of days to redeem your prize. Make sure you get you that right shirt size as you proudly wear your Bowl TV gear, as do we. Thanks again to everybody for participating here on Bowl TV, being part of the community. Y'all are the best.
Y'all just be that good.
I've really embraced the y'all the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I resisted for a while.
You know, I think you'd make a good Woody for Halloween.
You're not the first person to tell me that, by the way.
You would. You'd make a hell of a Woody from Toy Story.
Taking a look around the house here on live scoring as I quickly attempt to change the subject. Danielle McCune can shoot 257 this game. She can get to plus 194. But do not think it's going to be enough the way Jordan has been striking so far here in game 5.
Sarah McCarthy got going the last game. Liz Johnson's got 268 max score. She's 105 over. Yeah, this squad is going to blow by the first squad. At the top of the leaderboard, anyway.
Erin McCarthy can get to 199 this game, so she would be at plus 63.
Oh, wow. So she put together pretty good games 3 and 4 then.
Specifically for games 3 and 4 for Aaron, 247, 236.
Okay.
For a 177, 204 start.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. When you told me that total, I was like, wow, she must have really bowled good games 3 and 4. I will bring Jordan Richard up to the booth for an interview after this block as well.
Excellent. Just taking a look, Jordan didn't make the cut to the top 12 at the Greater Cleveland Open last week.
No.
Yes, she did.
Oh, she did.
Top 12.
Oh, she did make the top 12.
I believe in Lincoln, though.
Lincoln, she did not.
Lincoln, she did not. So a nice bounce back in Cleveland. Not going to be leading after day number 1 here. As Mike throws his hands up, saying, "Called it." Yeah, it was very. After Michael Jordan hit his like 6th 3 against Portland in '92, and just kind of walked back and did the shrug.
Yeah.
That's what that was right there. And I enjoyed every second of it. That was great. Ironically, that's been made more famous now since The Last Dance by, I forget who that gentleman was as far as the relation to the Bulls and Michael Jordan, but
We don't have any front anything's going here, do we?
I believe we are safe across the house.
Okay, so that's
We have some big games going, but no runs at 300 here for day one. 297 is going to be the closest. Abby Ragsdale looking to finish strong here. She can still shoot 268 on 49 and 50. Although she just washed out to start her 10th frame. She's going to be in a good spot, though. She's going to be in that plus 80 to plus 90 range, give or take. Potentially plus 100.
By the way, if you're looking to really find out all these places that Aaron Smith mentioned earlier, all the great hot spots in Reno, there is one place that you can go and get this information. Head on over to aarondoesreno.com. No, I'm just kidding. You go over to his Instagram, give him a follow, USBC Aaron. You can DM him for all the hot spots.
I don't remember agreeing to that, but sure, why not? I get to my Instagram messages very slowly as a heads up.
Well, I mean, you get bombarded. I mean, I've never seen. I remember that one day when your phone just started smoking sitting in front of us. That's when you got too many people sliding into the DMs, brother.
Have some pairs already wrapped up. Looks like kind of just a couple more shots left to go here before we are wrapped up across the house here at the NBS.
Looks like Stephanie Zavala ended up with 237 last game.
So she's at plus 188 at 237. Danielle got to plus 183. Dasha Kovalova plus 99, our defending champion. So someone mentioned Jordan's sister Haley. She got to plus 31, 246 in the final game. Abby Ragsdale plus 97. Caitlin Johnson plus 151. Liz Johnson plus 142.
That's a nice set for Liz.
Liz Culkin plus 126.
Jordan Richards' second shot in the 10th. This one will put her in the 260s.
She's going to be the only player to surpass the plus 200 mark and average more than 240 out here for day one at the USBC Queens.
Yes, sir.
There it is, 269 to get to plus 230. Looks like we're going to have Jordan good to go here in a couple minutes after.
All right, ladies, that concludes these squats for tournament competition. Ladies, add up those score sheets, sign them. Please fill it out in its entirety.
Perhaps in a minute or two, going to be cleaning some stuff up there with ball rep Matt McNeil. But Michael, we've completed day one at the Queens here.
Boy, we sure have. We sure have, and it's been a good day. It's been nice to be able to see what the scoring pace is going to look like here for us. It's been nice to be able to troubleshoot some of our streaming things. We've had a couple weird things happen here. We also saw Danielle McEwen go 6 foul and bowl 264. Strange 264 game, but she bowled outstanding. Higher scores, the top of the leaderboard here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the cut number? What was the cut number going into that game? It
was, I want to say minus. Oh no, not that one. This one. This is the one we want.
Yep.
15 under.
Minus 15. So that number went down from the first squad.
I think that tells us a lot of things. I felt we were going to see some higher scores out there. We kind of talked about that, and we did. There were some big scores, but it wasn't the whole field blasting away here. It was, there was some trouble hitting different parts of the house. We saw some players, obviously going from fresh to fresh as well, finding some success and then falling a little bit later in the block, or conversely, a little slow out of the gates, and then some big numbers at the end. But for Jordan, a 207 start, and then after that, her low game was 229. It was 229, 235, 290, and then 269 to wrap things up. So just phenomenal bowling to lead the way here, and she's built herself a nice lead over the rest of the field. So potentially, she has a little extra room here with these final 10 games to potentially try out a few different things.
Yeah, we're going to flip the squads tomorrow. B squad will bowl first, A squad will bowl later. And then on Saturday, it'll be A, B to finish things up. But it'll give everybody now has an opportunity to be able to go back, think about what happened today, and get a game plan together for tomorrow, and then another shot at it before they get into the big dance, the top 64. Top 64. We know Dasha's already in. She's well within the cut number now as well.
That she is. A nice day for Dasha. And that was something she had talked about as well before. She wanted to be as prepared for the bracket coming up. So she was relieved to not have to worry about making the top 64, but it didn't sound like it was going to be a glorified practice session. It was going to be a lot of opportunities to try and get as bracket ready as she can, if you will. So she was going to take advantage of obviously having that, but wasn't going to let up. She knew if she relaxed a little bit too much, she could potentially find some trouble there. But looks like we're just about set to have Jordan Richard join us here. So let's.
Yep.
There we go. Hi, Jordan.
Hi.
Congratulations on an excellent opening day here. I think plus 230, you averaged more than 240 on the day. Just tell us a little bit about what you saw out there. 207 to start, and then nothing under 220 the rest of the way out. How were you able to put together such a great block to kick things off?
When I watched earlier this morning, I saw a bunch of girls a little bit further left than what I thought I wanted to get. So this block, I started to the right where I practiced yesterday. And then I switched balls in the 10th frame of my first game, and I just creeped a little bit left. For a total, I moved 3 boards the entire time. So I stayed with my game plan, stayed on top of it, and made some really good shots.
Jordan, what were the bowling balls of choice? Our fans here on Bowl TV would like to know.
I threw a physics game 1, and then I switched to a Rubicon, and I threw that the other 4 games.
Do you remember you and I having a conversation in practice?
I do.
What was that conversation?
That I had quite a bit of room and to stay with it, and I could strike a lot.
Yep, and you did it. I called out before we started this one right here.
Yeah.
That you were gonna lead the squad. I believed in you, and you performed out there. How's it feel to be able to put together a block like that?
Honestly, it feels really good. I know that you can't win it in a day, but you can also lose it in a day. So I just wanted to stay focused and make good shots and get as much information as I could for the coming days.
This is 2 tournaments in one. You've got another 10 games still till the bowl of qualifying, and you're well on your way there, but you don't want to mail it in, of course.
Right.
What is going to be the key if you make it into the bracket? You're in a great position right now, but what's the key for you to be able to get through the bracket and possibly bowl for the title?
I just need to stay on top of my moves and stop worrying about where everybody else is playing. I think a lot of the times I get a little bit further left than I want to. So I stayed on top of it today, and I didn't allow myself to creep that far left, and I struck a lot more. I feel like my A game is staying on top of it and closing it down to where I don't have to swing the entire lane. So I was allowed to do that today, and I bowled good.
I got one more for you before I turn it back over to Aaron here.
Okay.
How do you feel your season's been so far on the PWBA tour?
It's been quite a roller coaster. I'm confident with my game and my equipment and the reps out here. It's just a matter of putting it all together. I feel like I've bowled well. I feel like I've been throwing the ball well, and just my time will come.
Jordan, just one final question from me. A couple of years ago, you began your PWBA career right here at the NBS at the Queens. So what's it like to be back in this environment here, competing at the Queens once again?
Yeah, this is only my second time bowling here. My track record at Queens really isn't very good. So I want to say I didn't have really high expectations coming into this tournament, but I just wanted to get into the bracket and hopefully at least be able to win a match, because honestly, I haven't even won a match at Queens yet. But I just want to stay focused and do what I can and take care of myself, and hopefully it gets me there.
All right, Jordan. Well, excellent opening block here at the Queens. Best of luck the rest of the way out. Thank you for taking a few minutes to chat with us here on Bowl TV.
Thank you.
And enjoy the rest of the event.
Thank you.
It's Jordan Richard. I didn't pick her to win the tournament. I got Stephanie Johnson, but I picked her today to be the highest score. We got to stick around for a picture and an interview too. Okay. All right, Aaron. Well, great day of action here from the NBS. Your favorite town, your favorite venue.
That's right. You know it. And that's just day one. We got 2 more days of qualifying, 2 days of match play, and then the stepladder finals. So still 5 days left to go in this event, which is pretty awesome. And all here on BowlTV.com, including the stepladder finals, May 18th at 5 p.m. local time, 8 p.m. Eastern. The local Eastern it's been a thing this week.
You know what else is great too? All kidding aside, is we've got better commentators for you throughout the week.
Oh, we really do.
We tried to hear from a great commentator today, but we had a little bug issue, and we have not heard from him yet. But I know he's going to be spending time in here tomorrow, and that's Jason Thomas. He's going to have a lot of information. He's been watching everything, digesting it. And then another thing that I don't know if we've talked about this or not, but for the TV finals, we're going to have Dave Lamont on the call. We're several days away from that, but just to tease you for a little bit later in the week.
It's going to be awesome to have Dave, and then we'll have a player join him as well. So it's going to be a great dynamic to see the finals here at the Queens. But we still got a couple days to go. We got to get down to 64 players first, and then the bracket match is always so exciting coming up on Sunday and Monday. But folks, that's going to do it for now. So obviously a big thanks to the USBC and the board of directors, Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider here for USBC short duration events. We have our USBC Gold partners, 900 Global, Storm, and Rotogrip. The Reno Sparks Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Row. Of course, our participants this week at the Queens for putting on a show for us here on BowlTV.com and on the PWBA Tour all season. Of course, the staff here as well helping out. And the Bowl TV fans. We didn't forget you. See, I slow rolled it there, but we got you in there. We love the community. We love hanging out with you here for the Queens, and looking forward to an exciting couple of days in Reno. So for the Bowl TV crew, Jason Thomas, Mike Flanagan, I'm Aaron Smith. We're signing off for today. We'll see you at noon Eastern tomorrow for B Squad second round of qualifying here at the Queens. But that's going to do it for tonight. So thanks again for joining us here on Bowl TV. And remember, folks, on Bowl TV, bowling lives here. Have a good night.